The time is 5 o'clock on this Wednesday evening, August 2nd, 2017. It is time now for the Peter Channel 5 o'clock news on this Wednesday evening, August 2nd, 2017. Good evening, everybody. I'm Peter J. Wiggins. The time is 5 o'clock. Get on top story in Peter Channel 5 o'clock news is President Trump signs Wednesday calls to seriously flawed bill imposing new sanctions on Russia. White House aides state of liberty reform enough to test for the immigration policy. Gas explosion rocks in a hot academy killed one another accounted for 3 critically injured. President Trump says Boy Scouts called in to tell him the speech was the greatest. He appears to have remembered this. Portland, Oregon could hit 108 degrees this week, breaking an all-time record. These 5 companies make close guesses to survive the safe. Venezuela election chief rejects tempering claim. Trump supports bill that will cut legal immigration by half. Al Gore warns that Trump is a distraction from the issue of climate change. 2 killed in Portugal Beach plane crash. Deaf Texas woman found buried on Maryland Beach Road accidental. James Comey has read that book and he's been keeping fat notes. Mexico denies president called Trump to compliment immigration policy. 2 U.S. servicemen died Wednesday when a suicide bomber attacked the NATO convoy in Canada, Afghanistan, military officials said. Tonight, voters will vote in Venezuela to establish a constitutional assembly were tempered with the company that provided election technology and said Wednesday. Health warnings have been issued across Europe this week as the most severe heat wave in an already hot summer is expected. Tech giant Apple will try to have the Chinese government's internet research less about will have to comply with the country's law, CEO Tim Cook said. Attorney General Jeff Sessions announced Wednesday that the Justice Department is hiring 12 federal prosecutors to tackle opioid-related healthcare fraud. Montreal's Olympic Stadium became a temporary shelter Wednesday for migrants crossing the U.S.-Canadian borders and seeking asylum. The Treasury Department has said Congress needs to raise borrowing limited property because there is only enough money to fund the government by September 30th. President Trump announced a plan Wednesday that favors English-speaking applicants who will contribute to the U.S. economy and do not need financial help. Seagon Quarter Main break forces closure at Fall River Avenue near Loafers Corners. Police looking for a missing Kingston man last seen driving on I-49.5 in Franklin. And some sad news to pass along. Former Norton Schools Superintendent Lincoln Moore died at the age of 78 on Monday. He was the superintendent of Norton Schools from 1998 to 2005. In addition, he was the superintendent of Mashpee Public Schools and worked in a number of positions in the Taunton school system throughout the years. Dow Jones climbs over the 22,000 for the first time. The Dow up 52.32 points at 22,016.24. S&P up 1.22 points at 2477.57. The Nasdaq down 29 cents at 6062.65. Tesla tops estimate, it says Model 3 on track to hit production targets. Hyperloop One's next step is to test airlocks for pod entry and an exit. Apple surges 5% record after a forecast shows Wall Street fears over their iPhone were overblown. White House is about to hire a planetary protection officer. Human embryos edited as up disease. What's next on the massive ice chunk that broke off Antarctica? Earth likely to warm more than 2 degrees this century. Hundreds of thousands of glitter iPhone cases recalled after causing burns. Your kitchen sponge of a grossly hot. Here's often you should replace it. Here's what. Okay, Peter Channel News Time. 5:03 on this Wednesday evening. It is starting out for a sports report. Boston Red Sox will be taking on the Cleveland Indians. Game time is 7:10 p.m. at Fenway Park. Baltimore Ravens coach and GM Steve Biscotti resists Kaepernick signing. Boston's new Tom Brady wax figures getting not so great reviews. Steph Curry says he wasn't trying to clown LeBron James. His stance was homage and Neymar PSG. Paris Saint-Germain reportedly agreed to contract terms nearly 450 million total pounds of total transfer. Peter Channel News Time. 5:04 on this Wednesday evening. It's time now for traffic transit report. Let's study off in material where there's someone else wants to some modulated traffic on the commuter rail. Fairmont train 772. 4:15 p.m. for refills to operate 25:35 minutes late between Upper Center and South Station. Fairmont train 775. 5 p.m. from South Station is expected to operate 15:25 minutes late between South Station Reedville. Fitchburg line train 4:15, 3:30 p.m. from North Station up in 5 minutes. Scheduled between South Acton and Wachusett. Fitchburg train 4:20, 2:50 p.m. from Rochester and Iowa 30, 40 minutes late between Littleton Station and North Station due to mechanical issue. Whistle line train 5:20 is 3:50 p.m. and Whistle operated 5 minutes late between Wellesley Farms and South Station. Whistle train 5:21, 5 p.m. from South Station to Petro Park Substation, 10 20 minutes past due to an Amtrak single issue. Franklin train 7:45, 5:02 p.m. But expected to operate 10 20 minutes late between South Station and Fourth Part to the Amtrak single issue. Due to the single issue between South Station and Back Bay Station, Franklin line trains may experience delays. And same goes for the Framingham Worcester trains, the Needham trains, and the Providence trains. Havel train 2:20, 4:05 p.m. from Havel is up in 5 minutes basket between Brentford Station and North Station. Havel line train 291, 5:50 p.m. from North Station up in 10 20 minutes basket between Webber Hills Station and Redden Station. Lowell train 3:30, 4 p.m. inbound spot operate 15:25 minutes late between North Station due to early mechanical issue. Needham train 6:17, 4:47 p.m. Outbound is expected to open 10 20 minutes late between South Station and Needham lines due to Amtrak single issues. And Providence train 8:23, 4:55 p.m. Outbound is expected to operate 15:25 minutes late between South Station and Providence due to Amtrak single issues. Okay, look at the hours and byways of New England. 95 southbound side, so between West Warwick and East Greenwich. 400 northbound side, it is over the East Greenwich just before 95. 95, both ends is back between Providence and Warwick. 95, stops back up all the way down to Pawtucket. 146 on the southbound side, Lewis around Rhode Island, Massachusetts border. 195 on the westbound side, so between Fairfield and between Fairhaven, Route 140 in Bedford. Route 6 on the westbound side, Lewis or Hart stretch. 3 on the southbound side, Lewis in Kingston stretch. 24 on the southbound side, so between 495 and Raynham, all the way down to 44 in Taunton. 95 on the southbound side, so to 120 in Canton, and 495 on the southbound side, so between Route 1 and Plainville, all the way up to Route 148 in Mansfield. 495 on both ends back between Milford and Marlborough, and 495 south back to Bowling to Hudson. Service between Seoul both ends between Boston and Braintree split. Mass back on both ends is back between Austin, Brett, Tolls, and Logan. Put a mass back eastbound back all the way to Newton. Mass back westbound side, so to 120 Western and to Framingham. 93 on both ends back to between downtown Boston. 93 to the northbound side. And it's slow from the second bridge of Boston all the way up to the Methuen. 17 on Seoul, County looking good. 120 to southbound side, so between Beverly and Linfield. 120 to both ends. It is backed up between Waltham and Wilkes. And 120 to southbound side. It's backed up all the way down to the Braintree split. 120 to the northbound side, so between the Braintree split and Randolph. And then hit again between 120 and northbound side between Waltham and Lexington. And then backed up in northbound 120 all the way up to Route 1 in the Linfield PVD area. 3 on the northbound side, so between 1 trade and Round all the way up to Westford. 495 on the northbound side. And then sold between 111 and Littleton all the way up to Haverhill. 495 on the southbound side, so between Haverhill all the way up to Chelmsford. Route 2 on the westbound side, so between Devons and Leominster. Route 190 the northbound side, a little slower on the Leominster stretch. 290 westbound side, so from 190 to Route 9 in Worcester. Because of the wet weather, 291 on the northbound side, so between Springfield and the Mass Pike. 191 on the southbound side, so between the downtown Springfield stretch. 91 on the southbound side, slow around the Greenfield stretch. And 91 on the northbound side, low at Sutherland stretch. 91 at slow both ends between Meriden all the way up to Winslow. 84 at slow both ends by Hartford stretch. 384 eastbound side, so between Manchester and Stores. 84 on both ends, slow down to Hartford. And 84 westbound side, slow to New Britain stretch. 84 on both ends back between Waterbury and 17. And then slow on both ends at Sudbury stretch. And west eastbound 84 is back to Danbury. 95 on the northbound side, so between West and New Haven. 95 on the northbound side, so between Stafford and Fairfield. And 95 on the southbound side, so between Stafford and Greenwich stretch. Up north, Vermont North Main Island was out. Looking good, and Route 1 on the southbound side, also Brunswick Main stretch. And 97 on the northbound side, also north of the Drury and Albany. Peter Chill News Time, 5:09 on this Wednesday afternoon. It is time out for a weather report on this Wednesday evening. And it is desperation time tonight because showers and thunderstorms are everywhere around the region. All right, our current conditions are Norton, Massachusetts at 509, 86 degrees temperature, 2.5 about 74, humidity 66%, barometer 3.04. And we get warm temperatures with uncomfortable humidity that causes thunderstorms. Current condition man, region 73 in Boston and Beverly and Gloucester, 72 in Bedford, 75 in Fitchburg, 77 in Worcester, 86 in Norwood, 84 in Taunton, 81 in Bedford, 84 out of Plymouth, 79 in Falmouth and Chatham and Provincetown, 75 in Murfreesboro, 72 in Nantucket, 83 in Providence, 75 in Balkan, 76 in Montauk, 82 in Islip, 80 in New York City, 81 in Bridgeport and New Haven, 79 in Denver, Waterbury, Connecticut, 81 degrees in Meriden, 68 in Northern Winslow, 71 in Springfield, 82 in Greenfield, 81 in North Venice, Mass, 77 in Pittsfield, Mass, 75 in Albany, 70 for Sarah Springs, 82 in Rail, Vermont, 76 in Benjamin, Vermont, 82 in Lebanon, and Keene, Hampshire, 84 in Jeff, Green, Hampshire, 82 in Nashville, Hampshire, 87 in Manchester, and Concord, Hampshire, 84 in Lucknow, Hampshire, 8 in Portsmouth, Hampshire, and Portland, Maine. Alright, surface map around the country shows the station front stretching a line from British Columbia down for Iowa, merging the coast front from Iowa down around Michigan, merging with station front from Michigan, and continuing coast front from Northern Ontario up to Quebec, merging a warm front from eastern Quebec down to the Canadian Maritimes, and a station with low pressure off the Carolina coast, and low pressure in western Dakotas, Michigan, off the Carolina coast, and 2 for Nevada with a low pressure system, one through California, and one from Southern Nevada down through the Baja, California, Mexico, and high pressure ridges down around Fort Quarter region and western Carolina. 87 degrees on temperature in Detroit, 82 in Washington, D.C., 90 in Washington, D.C., 87 in Detroit, 82 in Pittsburgh, 90 in Washington, D.C., 85 in Atlanta, Georgia, 91 in Miami, Florida, 95 in Brownsville, Texas, 77 in Dallas, Texas, 87 in Kansas City, 86 in Chicago and Omaha, 82 in Minneapolis, St. Paul, 67 in Great Falls, Montana, 86 in Seattle, 76 in San Francisco, 81 in Los Angeles, it's 99 in Las Vegas, it's 92 in Phoenix, 97 in Salt Lake City, 87 in Denver, and 82 degrees down in Albuquerque, New Mexico. All right. Looking at radar, and it shows clusters and clusters of showers and storms stretching the line from Boston south down to Natick and Woonsocket and down for Hartford and down around the Bronx and Clifton, New York City, and another band of showers and storms from Sparta all the way down through Ethel and around Amherst and around south-central New Hampshire and south-central Vermont and stretching all the way up to southwest of Redford, Maine. And taking a look at these showers and storms as we are in the flood watch around the Boston vicinity and central west Mass and North Carolina, North Central and Northeastern Connecticut until 8 o'clock. And there's a heavy band of showers and thunderstorms from eastern Needham down to Jamaica Plain down around South Boston around Logan Airport, in which I heard that the tunnel got flooded at Logan Airport. And another band of showers and storms from Mohegan, Rhode Island down for Millville and down around Milford and for Halston down around Natick and western Needham and around Dover. And a heavy band of showers and storms around North Central and Monmouth. And time to see where they're going to be going. What? And these showers and storms are going to be from Middletown are going to be headed towards the northeast. So Worcester to Attleboro, you are next in these lines of storms. And this cell is going to be headed towards Medway and Franklin in the next couple of minutes. And then this cell's going to be headed towards Quincy and Braintree in the next couple of minutes. Ooh, close save. And looking at satellite shows, line of clouds from southern Vermont, New Hampshire, stretching down to D.C. and around western Carolinas and Virginias, and clouds from northern Kentucky down to southern Indiana and southern Ohio and the northeastern Ohio. And Walpole's got 79 degrees with a thunderstorm. Okay. Forecast discussion. Scattered afternoon showers and thunderstorms are expected to contain the threats of heavy rain, gusty winds, and hail up to an inch. Flash flooding is possible with heavy rain and slow moving storms. That flash flood watches that affect scattered shower and thunderstorm activity will continue throughout the week. A cold front will cross the region area and may bring around the scattered showers and thunderstorms. A few strong storms are possible. Beyond the front, expect splendid light, summer conditions on Sunday with low humidity and settled weather may return early next week in the form of more scattered showers and thunderstorms. And it'll be highlights. Flash flood watch in effect from areas northwest of Providence right on to Plymouth, Massachusetts, roughly Route 44. Slow move that thunderstorms present ongoing amid the heavy rain threats with rainfall rates of 2 to 3 inches an hour. Main threat of heavy rain and localized flood and wolf. Expected slow storm movement and additional threats of gusty winds and hail within an inch within any of the stronger storms. Storms impacting southern New England and the numerous precipitation. Rainfall rates around 2 to 3 inches of an hour. Conservative flash flooding as storm movement have been stationary in some minutes in the back building. Given a marginal shear environment supported multi-cell storms with cold outflows or higher lofted course, more likely to impact of large hail and up to an inch and wind gusts to 50 miles an hour. These threats are likely to continue into the evening hours, which may point that they are likely expected to dissipate with a lack of daytime heating. Main threat will be heavy rain and localized flooding given a very moist environment and slow movement of storms. It's just like a washcloth, as well as a convective nature of the slow environment to be pulsed in multi-cell convection. Rainfall rates of around 2 to 3 inches per hour over the one in a particular area has just already been observed in spots. Contributing flash flooding and second threats of hail up to an inch, and temperature wind threats from any course that are available to be lost to the high that the immediate come down. Given wind and shear profile, storm associated cold proposal are not maintaining some of the storms and getting a lot of boundary coalitions around 7 New England and the confluence of which is contributed to storm maintenance and inundation. This in addition to daytime mixing has been started earlier as energy within the boundary layer becomes exhausted and the sun goes down, should see convective activity dissipate. Convection dissipated in the evening will cause cooling overnight, anticipating partial clearing after the storms and continued light wind profile with abundant low-level moisture that a result of nocturnal cooling and low clouds and fog to develop and higher confidence for these areas with higher throughputs across the interior, especially the lower Connecticut River Valley and southeast New England, and this a low drop down in the mid-upper 60s. And what I'm thinking, storms will continue until the sun goes down, a stuffy night on tap, and more of the same warm, humid tomorrow storms that I'm expecting to like Tuesday when we see isolated pop-up showers in the storm, and expected tonight slow 63, 68, and tomorrow's highs 81 to 87 degrees in Fenway forecast. Game time 7:10 p.m. versus Cleveland. Expect showers and thunderstorms and a high of 72 at Fenway Park. Alright, hazards weather outlook. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are expected this afternoon at 18, primarily along the northwest of Boston and Providence line. Any thunderstorm that develops will be slow moving and capable of resulting in a low, very localized heavy rain, street highway flooding, while the overall weather threat is low and outside strong thunderstorm are 2 with localized gusty winds and small as possible. Okay, 7-day forecast. It goes like this. For tonight, scattered showers and dust remain before 9 p.m. Thunderstorms produce small hail, gusty winds, and heavy rain. Most of the coast go about 66 degrees. Southwest wind about 5 to 7 miles an hour every minute. Chest space is 30%. New response less than 10 minutes as high amounts possible thunderstorm. For Thursday, slight showers and thunderstorms after 2 p.m. Most of the coast got equivalent sunny sky about 84 degrees and southward about 5 to 11 miles an hour. Chest space to 20%. Thursday night, increased skies about 64 degrees and southward about 8 to 10 miles outside, 28 miles an hour. For Friday, Putty Saturday, the most of the coast got low about 66 degrees. Saturday, chest showers after 4 p.m. with thunderstorms possible. Putty Saturday sky about 81 about 61 degrees. Chest space to 30%. For Sunday, pick and wake. Sunday, most coast about 81 about 57 degrees. Monday, most sunny, most skies about 70 about 61 degrees. Chest space to 40% with a chest showers Monday night. Tuesday, chest showers. Putty west. Mostly skies about 77 about 59 degrees. Chest space to 30%. And for Wednesday, mostly sunny sky about 79 degrees. Peter, what a phrase today. Showers and thunderstorms tonight. And more of the same tomorrow. Humid tomorrow. And that's BA for Peter, Channel 5 o'clock news on this July the... On this August 2nd, 2017, on Wednesday afternoon, I'm Peter J. with you. Good evening, by the agent, and I'll see you at 11 o'clock for a late night report. I hope you all have a good evening.